Welcome back. Let's mix it up on some other headlines today. A good night for Good Time Charlie, as we were just discussing. And new proof of November's none of the above election. No wonder they don't want to put the against line in the ballot box. But we begin with the ethically challenged congressman by the name of Charles Rangel, back out on the offense today. God bless him. The morning after his big 80th birthday gala here in New York, Rangel officially kicked off his re-election campaign, saying enough of the scandal talk, people. He's going to beat the rap.
There is no question in my mind that there will be no obstacles politically or in the newspaper that's going to stop me, good health allowing, from clearing my name from these vile and vicious charges.
But back to last night's festivities. His birthday party, slash fundraiser turned out to be a who's who of big-name New York politicians, some of whom made it clear they're sticking by Good Time Charlie despite the dark cloud over his head.
Don't turn your cameras off. Don't put your notepads down. You have started and executed the political crucifixion, but stay tuned for the political resurrection.
Well, resurrection or not, we all know Mr. Rangel is a hell of a politicker. But it turns out the man can dance, too. Question is, can he two-step his way around this very serious ethics committee and hold on to his job? Considering we can't toss all of them, he might actually stand a chance. Joining us is radio talk show host David Sirota. He's the author of Hostile Takeover. Also with us, radio talk show host Martha Zoller like dollar. That's what I tell myself before I come out, Martha. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I say Zoller like dollar.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you both. Hi, David. Let's talk. Listen, let's begin with let us enjoy the dancing, Martha. You got to admire the, if nothing else, the audacity of dopes. I think we were calling it yesterday.
Well, I mean, you gotta love Charlie Rangel. I've always liked him, but I just thought Al Sharpton was just in rare form, talking about this as allegations. You know, the only question with Charlie Rangel is going to be, are they going to oust him or not? Because he's admitted to most of this stuff. It's just the question of whether he did it on purpose or just pulled the wrong stationery, as he said.
Tactically rational on your part, David. I know the Democrats' numbers are an abomination. The only problem is the Republican numbers continue to stay worse.
Well, look, I mean, I think it is pretty weird that Charlie Rangel has acknowledged a lot of these charges, but is sort of saying that he's innocent of them. I think that's pretty weird. I still don't see any evidence that Charlie Rangel, the scandal around him, is going to hurt Democrats nationally. But sure, it doesn't look good, and it sure doesn't look good that so many big names, and in many cases politicians, were at that fundraiser with this cloud over his head.
But let's talk about that. Mike Bloomberg is there. I mean, everybody's at the party, baby. If Charlie Rangel's so toxic, how come all the hitters in New York, from the mayor on down the line, are in the House, Martha?
Because it's New York, and Charlie's going to be reelected. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to be convicted of ethics challenges.
Hold on a second. That cannot, as a man who currently is working on the third floor of a building here in New York City, attributing the presence of... Well, I don't know. What are you saying about New York, Martha?
I'm meaning they know that he's going to be reelected, and so they don't want to be out of the party when that happens. However, you know, that they don't care whether he gets ethics violations completed or he's removed from Congress. They want to be on the party because they want to show that they're supporting Harlem. That's why they want to be there.
Oh, man.
And Dylan, I should also add. Let me also add this.
Maybe go out to dinner in Harlem. I don't know. You support Harlem. You go to a Charlie Rangel's birthday party. Sorry, David. It's crazy.
But also remember, I mean, this guy, if he is reelected, it's a good investment for them. He ostensibly may take back the chairmanship of the most powerful committee, the most money-driven committee in the entire U.S. Congress, which is the Ways and Means Committee. So for them, it may be a slight political downside, but they need to have that, or they think they need to have that relationship with the potential next chairman and former chairman of the Ways and Means Committee.
Oh. Good times. Let's see.
I'm not absolving it.
This is why people, when they watch this show, are you watching the show? Are you watching the show? Do not throw things at the television. I know we talked
I'm not
about
absolving
these things.
it. I think it's wrong.
I know I'm not suggesting that they should throw things at you. I'm just saying we talk about these things, and you think to I want to throw things at the television, and I'm hosting the show. Don't do it. Let's move on to another subject. Proof we are facing a hold-your-nose vote, if I haven't mentioned already, in this country. The new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll is out, shows 24% of voters view the GOP favorably. That's an all-time low. That'll show them. Problem is, as I said, not much better for the Dems, and the Dems numbers just keep on falling. Just 33% of them have a favorable view. But they might be friends of Charlie Rangel, who need him on the Ways and Means Committee, so who could know? The Senate race in Colorado, a prime example of the horrible choice facing voters. The Republican out there, Ken Buck, a Tea Party favorite, who said people should vote for him because, quote, he doesn't wear high heels. I don't know what he's got against high heels, but the Democrat, Michael Bennet, partly responsible for bringing a disastrous pension decision to Denver's public schools that puts the city tens of millions of dollars deeper into debt to the banksters, making the teaching budget decline while, of course, winning some campaign donations from the banks. David, your state just faced this horrid choice, and other states will face it in the months ahead. How do you interpret the decision to go with Michael Bennet, who's basically a known bankster, in the face of his competitors, and how do you analyze this will play out in general when you're dealing with evil and evil, or lousy and lousy?
I mean, I said it on my radio show. You know, it's like the Spaceballs idea. Evil triumphs because good is dumb, and in this case, broke. What happened is that the Bennett campaign raised a huge amount of money from Wall Street, one of the top contributors, one of the top recipients of Wall Street money in the entire U.S. Congress. He had the full backing of the Obama administration, the full backing of the DNC. They barely, really narrowly pushed him over the primary line, and now you have a situation where you're right. You do have a kind of corporate Democrat versus a Tea Party Republican. I think what's going to be interesting here is that you're going to see the Republican, I think, try to go to the left and to the right. Ken Buck is going to go after Michael Bennet for pushing the Denver public schools into, as you said, the hands of predatory lenders on Wall Street. He's going to go after Michael Bennet on some of his corporate votes on Wall Street issues, and then he's going to go to his right on probably some budget deficit and social issues. It's going to be a fascinating race, but I agree with you. These are two not such great choices.
Yeah. Real quick, Martha, before I wrap this up, there's got to be upside for Republicans here if they can figure a way to play it, if only because the Democrats are in power and are declining. I just don't, the Republicans haven't seemed to have found the road here, in my opinion.
No, they haven't found the road yet. But what's interesting is you really only have to have a 20% turnover of seats in order to take over, really about a 15%. So we're not talking about turning everybody out. What you're talking about is key races, and I think that's what it is. But, yeah, there's a lot of places where there are poor choices on the Republican side and on the Democratic side, and that's why independents, that's why you're seeing that gap, 24% and 23% with the big gap in the middle, because the independent group is growing bigger. But the problem with independents is different people define it different ways.
Yeah. Well, we're independent. It's a nightmare. They are totally unpredictable. The independents are the word. They're kidding me. It's the whole problem with independents. Nice to see you guys. Have a nice day. David Sirota, Martha Zoller.
Thank you.
Thank you.